Alright, it is Wednesday, August 15, 2018 at 11:01 a.m. Let's take a look at the headlines. Alright, stunning aerial photographs reveal how Britain's summer heatwave has exposed 1,500 lost monuments, including a Bronze Age burial mounds, Iron Age settlements, and a Roman farm. Weeks of blistering summer heat have revealed evidence of 1,500 hidden archaeological sites across the UK landscape, from prehistoric cursus monuments laid out more than 5,000 years ago, to the outline of a long demolished Tudor hall. Iron settlements, Bronze Age square burial mounds, and a Roman farm have been spotted for the first time by aerial archaeologists studying patterns in crops and grass. Historic England said. Archaeologists said the record-breaking dry summer has been particularly good for experts examining the landscape from the air, as crop marks form faster and are more obvious when the soil is very dry. These differences in crop color and height can reveal the layouts of buried ditches or walls which once marked our settlements, field boundaries, or funerary monuments. So apparently the heat is allowing buildings to be defined in the grass. So they've been finding all these monuments and prehistoric settlements because of the heat and the grass. That's pretty cool. Alright, Google continuously tracks people's locations. An Associated Press investigation revealed that many Google services on iPhone and Android devices store a user's location information, even if the user has explicitly enabled a privacy setting that states it will prevent Google from doing exactly that. In order to use Google's navigation app, Google Maps, a user must allow access to the location on their smartphone. Once a person agrees to let the company track the location over time, Google Maps will create a timeline of a person's whereabouts that maps out their daily movements. In creating this timeline, Google is recording and storing a minute-by-minute record of a person's location, bringing up serious privacy concerns. However, AP reported that Google will let you pause these location services in a setting called Location History. In pausing the location services, Google says the company will not be able to store a user's location. According to Google's support page, you control what's saved in your location history. You can turn it off your location history at any time. With location history off, the places you go are no longer stored. However, AP reported that this isn't completely true. Even when location history is paused, select Google apps automatically store timestamp location data without permission. When a person simply launches the Google Maps app, the company records and stores the location. Daily weather updates on Android smartphones also give a rough estimate of a person's location. According to AP, searching with Google for things unrelated to locations such as recipes online, shopping, pinpoints a person's longitude and latitude. All of this information is then saved on Google's account. Although it is possible to delete all this information, the task is tedious. ARP reports that there are about 2 billion users of devices that run on Google's Android operating software. There are also hundreds of millions of iPhone users who run Google Maps and Google Search. The key to stopping Google from tracking your every move is to turn off a setting not explicitly related to location. Google says pausing web and app activity, which is enabled by default and stores information from websites and other apps, along with location history, will prevent the company from saving your location markers. Just pausing location history only stops Google from creating a timeline. Despite some confusion over the company's practices, Google told AP it describes them clearly. So, Google is tracking everybody and causing record keeping of all of your locations if you have Google in your phone. Alright, good to know. Wi-Fi could be used to detect weapons and bombs. Ordinary Wi-Fi could be used to detect weapons and explosives in public places, according to a study led by Rutgers University in New Jersey. Wireless signals can penetrate bags to measure the dimensions of metal objects or estimate the volume of liquids, researchers claim. Initial tests appeared to show that the system was at least 95% accurate. It could provide a low-cost alternative to airport-style security, researchers said. So this is a suspicious object inside a bag, and the Wi-Fi signals beam in and detect the object and beam out, transmitting antennas and receiving antennas. The team behind the research tested 15 types of objects in 6 different types of bags. The Wi-Fi system has a success rate of 99% for recognizing dangerous objects, 98% for metal, and 95% for liquids. When objects were wrapped inside bags, the accuracy rate dropped to about 90%. U.S. Airport Security's Quiet Skies program tracks passengers. The low-cost system requires a Wi-Fi device with 2 or 3 antennas and can be integrated into existing Wi-Fi networks. The system works by analyzing what happens when wireless signals penetrate and bounce off objects and materials. It could be utilized in museums, stadiums, theme parks, and schools, or wherever there is a perceived public risk. Alright, so they have the ability to detect bombs and hazardous suspicious objects in bags now. That is pretty cool. I hope they actually use that to help save people's lives. Alright. Gas explosion levels Denver apartment building. 9 injured. 9 people were injured Tuesday in an apparent natural gas explosion at an apartment complex in Denver. Fire officials told Fox 31 that 2 victims were in the building at the time of the explosion. One man was hospitalized in critical condition, while one woman has pulled from the rubble and hospitalized in stable condition. 7 bystanders were treated and released at the scene. Alright, may God bless and watch over these people that were at this explosion. Such horrible things happening. Alright. Let's see. Red tide along Florida's Gulf Coast leads Governor Scott to declare state of emergency. Yeah, we had done previous videos on the red tide and all the algae blooms happening. Apparently, they called a state of emergency for Florida. A blanket of red tide along Florida's Gulf Coast is killing marine life in addition to emptying normally packed beaches with unrelenting stench has caused the state's governor to declare a state of emergency for parts of the region. Florida Governor Rick Scott declared Covers, Collier, Lee, Charlotte, Sarasota, Manatee, Hillsborough, and Pinellas counties, which have all state resources deployed to ensure residents are safe and businesses can recover. As Southwest Florida and Tampa Bay areas continue to feel the devastating impacts of the red tide, we will continue taking an aggressive approach by using all available resources to help our local communities, Scott, a Republican, said in a statement. I am issuing an emergency declaration to provide significant funding and resources to the communities experiencing red tide so we can combat its terrible impacts. Scott said he's ordering $100,000 for additional scientists to help with cleanup efforts and another $500,000 to help local communities and businesses struggling with lost income as tourists flee. The governor also directed another $900,000 in grants to help Lee County's cleanup efforts. That is pretty bad that they're having to call a state of emergency, but if it helps the communities stay in business when all the tourists are leaving because of this red tide, then Godspeed, you know? May God watch over them. Alright, Star Wars NASA discovery. Scientists reveal Star Wars system found in deep space. So apparently they found binary system just like they had in the movie in Tatooine. Spotting the obvious reference to the Star Wars universe, Dr. Green said, "Wow, Tatooine." Mr. Jenkins agreed, saying, "That's right, exactly like Star Wars, which I remember in 1976, my dad taking me to see Star Wars and seeing Tatooine and seeing the 2 stars, you know, seeing behind that planet." So they found binary star system, and they're treating it like a Star Wars Tatooine. Alright, that's pretty cool. I guess NASA has some fun moments and times. Alright, in summary, there's been a summer heat wave that's allowing scientists to reveal Bronze Age burials and more discoveries because of the heat. Google continuously tracks people's locations. Wi-Fi could be used to detect bombs. Gas explosions levels Denver apartment building with 9 injured. May God bless them. Red tide declared in parts of Florida. So they declared a state of emergency. And Star Wars has they're treating it like Star Wars and Tatooine. Alright. God bless. Thanks for stopping by and watching this video. Subscribe and hit like if you could. Thank you so much for everything. See you next time.